Hello everyone. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about general methods for determination of order of a reaction. In my previous lecture, I have discussed two methods for determination of order of a reaction, that is integration method and half-life period method. There are two more methods for determination of order of fraction, that is differentiation method and Ostwald isolation method, which I am going to discuss in this lecture. This is differential rate equation method. This is also called Bandt Hoff differential method. According to this method, which was devised by Bandt Hoff, the rate of nth order action is given by R is proportional to C raised power n. R is equal to K C raised power n. Taking log on both sides, we get log of R is equal to log of K plus n log C. Thus, if double logarithm plot, double logarithm means we have log on both x and y axis. So when we plot a graph between log of r and log of c, we get a straight line. Then the slope gives the value of n and intercept gives the value of k. Also, if R1 and R2 are the rates at two different reactant concentrations C1 and C2, then R1 becomes equals to K C1n and R2 is equal to K C2 raised power n. Now divide this by this. We get R1 by R2. Rate is given by minus dC1 by dt and rate 2 is given by minus dC2 by dt. It becomes Kc1 and upon Kc2 or R1 by R2 is equal to this k get cancelled by this k and n is power of both C1 and C2, so we take whole power n. C1 by C2 whole power n. Now taking log on both of the side, we get log of R1 by R2 is equal to n log C1 by C2. This is log of n m by n. We know that log of m by n is equal to log of m minus log of n. So it becomes log of R1 minus log of R2 and it becomes log of C1 minus C2. On solving this, we get n is equal to log of R1 minus log of R2 upon log of C1 minus C2. This order of fraction, that is n, can be calculated if the values of R1 and R2 at two different concentrations are known. And we can calculate these rates at two different concentrations by using these methods. First is the small change in concentration delta C of reactant is measured in small time interval delta t. The value of delta C by t is assumed to be constant in a given time interval. Hence, delta C by delta t can be taken equals to dC by dt. Actually, there takes place so small change in concentration with change in time that we take delta C by delta T almost constant in a given time interval. So, two different intervals may be considered during the course of fraction and the values of R1, that is dC1 by dt, and R2, that is dC2 by dt at two different concentrations C1 by C2 can be calculated. We take any two values of R1 and R2 at any two different concentrations. In this method, in second method, the rate is determined by plotting the concentration of reactants against time. The slope dC1 by dt, that is R1, and dC2 by dt, that is R2 at two different concentration at a given time is measured by drawing a tangent at that point. By using the value of slopes R1 and R2 in equation 1, the order of fraction can be calculated. Last method is Oswald dilution method. This method is employed in determining the order of a reaction which involve two or more reactants. This method is based on the principle that contribution of reactants taken in excess to the order of fraction can be neglected. In this method, the concentration of all but one reactant is taken in excess. Then, the concentration of those reactants taken in excess will remain almost constant and concentration of reactant present in small concentration is varied. The rate of reaction will vary with concentration of isolated reactant. That reactant which is taken in small concentration is isolated reactant. This helps to predict the order of fraction with respect to one reactant. In this way, one reactant is isolated from others and observed. This process is repeated with other reactants one by one and order with respect to each reactant is determined. The overall order is sum of all these order. Let us take an example to explain this method. Here we take A plus B plus C which gives product. Here capital A, B, C are reactants and small a, B, C are their coefficient respectively. First of all, suppose we take B and C in large excess we and we keep the concentration of these B and C which are taken in large excess to be constant and we isolate A. So the rate of fraction vary with the concentration of A and we get order of fraction with respect to A. Then then similarly isolate B and take A and C in large excess and they will remain constant during the reaction and find the order of fraction with respect to B. Then similarly isolate C and keep the concentration of A and B in large excess and they will remain constant and find the order of fraction with respect to C. Suppose that we have order of fraction with respect to A is X, with respect to B is Y and with respect to C is Z. Then overall order is taken by taking the sum of all these orders, that is X plus Y plus Z. So in isolation method we isolate one of the reactant and take the concentration of other reactants in large excess so that they remain constant and we find the order of fraction with respect to the isolated reactant and we repeat this process one by one for all the reactants and then we calculate the when find the order of fraction by taking the sum of all these orders. So this is all about this isolation method. Thanks.